Alright guys, so we're going to be taking care of the next part here, which would be the barrel installation. Now I wanted to show you on the Toth Tool barrel tool. It's got these relief cuts here for the rivets of your trunnion. So all you have to do is just clamp this right onto here, as so. And I have my trunnion warmed up with the heat gun, so it's kind of hard to entirely hold it because it is warm. Okay, so now we got it fixed in the vise here, and like I said, you guys heard me hopefully, I said that I warmed this up a little bit, and I'll tell you why in a second. And here we've installed the barrel pushing tool on the front with the grease, the high pressure grease that's comes included with your guys with the tools, and we got the pushing jag here, the brass jag, and here's our barrel. And this here is just a salt water ice bath, and the salt chills it even more, and I got ice forming on the outside. That's how cold it is. So I'm trying to cool down the barrel to kind of shrink it up a little bit, heat it up the trunnion to expand that out. I also have the barrel pin in here as well, chilling that too. So we're going to go ahead and pull out the barrel here, and we're going to put some grease on the barrel journal here in order to allow it to slide in a little bit smoother. So this is a pretty simple process. Put in just a little bit on here, and I'm going to apply it with my finger. This is a white lithium grease. Alright, so we've applied our grease on here. I'm just going to wipe my hands off, and then we're going to go ahead and start pushing this barrel in. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and set it up. The more tedious part is actually making sure you get it entirely lined up here. I'm going to go ahead and set that. Now I'm going to go ahead and line this up, standing from back here. And I'm trying to line up the ears of the rear sight block with the ears of the trunnion, and hopefully you get that nice and centered up there. I'm going to go ahead and put in our pushing jag here, back this off a little bit. Push this using our 3/4 inch box wrench here. Now with the barrel installation tool, there are instructions available on the website. If you guys check the description below, you guys will find the link to this tool. And again, like I said before in the other videos, that these videos are not to replace the instructions, they're kind of to go along with the instructions. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and push this in. And it is going fairly easy. I'm going to actually use a socket because it doesn't tend to slip off. Okay, and here you also might notice some popping sounds. And so when you get to this portion, I highly suggest you slow down. And once the barrel pin channel enters the actual barrel pin, or the barrel pin groove enters this barrel pin channel here, then we want to slow down. It hasn't just yet. It will be in a second. There we go. That's some popping going on now. Okay, so now we want to stop, and we want to, if you'll notice, let's go ahead and zoom out here. So if you notice over here that this kind of bent and deflected up, and what you want to do is kind of back off a little bit, and then kind of. So if you're noticing, I'm threading this in here to decrease this length, and that's going to make it more stable. Now we're just going to kind of zoom in on there, right there. We want to go slow. Okay, slowly. So each pop that you're hearing is actually the barrel popping forward. Right there. We got another about 1/8 inch, or actually just over an 1/8 inch to go. Okay, now we're about an 1/8 inch away. So each one of those pops, you got to watch for those. Slow down a little bit, and now we're gonna just watch for each one of those pops. I think one more pop. Maybe another one. That is pretty much where it needs to be now. So I think I've got it all set up. So let's go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and back this off, take this thing apart, and we're gonna pull it out and we're gonna hammer the barrel pin in. Okay, so what we've done here is I brought out my anvil here. What we're gonna do is drive the barrel pin in. I'm using the half of the barrel installation tool from the Toth Tool kit to actually support the receiver and keep it from marring, and also keeping those rivet heads off of the top here. And what we're going to do is, our barrel pin was chilling in this ice bath here, the salt ice bath, and I'm going to go ahead and take this out, get all the moisture off. Pretty cold, not as cold as it would be if it had dry ice on it or something. So we're just going to put some grease on here. Okay. And so we're going to go ahead and drop our pin in slightly right there. Now we also want to have our punches ready too. We're going to be using this as our finishing punch, what we use to drift it out. And initially we're going to start to get it started here. So we were basically an 1/8 inch away from finishing this off. And what we're going to do is flip it to see how much it's sticking out on the other side. And it's flush right now, so I'm going to go ahead and even it up a little bit. Go ahead and check it one more time. And it's just about even. It's a little bit sticking out on both sides. I'm going to go ahead and clean this off and show you what it looks like. There's the barrel pin installed right there, and then that's the other side, and you can see how it came out. Of course it did kind of mar up. Some of that's grease, some of that is paint kind of coming off. That's not a big deal. Now you guys did probably notice that I didn't headspace it. This kit came headspaced already with the barrel installed. Now we can headspace it as well. Okay, so I got my go no-go gauges here, and what we're going to do is we'll go with the go gauge first, or actually let's go with the no-go gauge first. We're going to go ahead and drop it in. I've got to go past the ejector, and we're going to go ahead and drop it in here. Hook it onto the bolt. Okay, now I'm going to, you got to be careful when you're doing this. The front piston can hit the side of the gas block, so I'm going to be guiding that in with one hand, and then I'm going to show you guys this here. So the piston hit, now we're going to try to close it, and that's as far as it will go with the no-go gauge. And we're going to go ahead and pull that out and slowly, and then let the ejector kick that one out. Let's go with the go gauge here. It's got a green band on it. Okay, got that installed. Now we're going to chamber this one. Let's see. There we go. Now I hit the gas block, alright, so now we're going to see if it closes on this. And with no effort at all, it completely closes. That gap that you probably see right there is nothing to be worried about, because on this side of the bolt carrier it's touching the trunnion. So you can see how, I'm going to do it again, how easy it closes on that. So I was pretty confident that it was headspace before. Of course, I checked it before I even did the videos to make sure it was not going to be needed to be re-drilled. So it's good to go. Now we're going to move on to the next step, which is to install the rear trunnion here.